House Democrats still MIA, which is affecting quorum, of course, delaying a vote on the controversial redistricting plan. ION
Politics reporter Jack Fink been following the political drama, and that's not an overstatement, I think, using that word. Bring us up to speed. What does this all mean as of today?
Well, Doug and Nicole, just in the last hour, President Trump weighed in on the redistricting showdown, saying Texas House Democrats have abandoned the state. Democrats, though, have previously denied that claim. So right now we want to go through the three main headlines today involving this political showdown between Texas Republicans and Democrats. First, Texas DPS is actively searching for Democrats who aren't at the Capitol in Austin. Second, Senator John Cornyn is urging the FBI to help Governor Abbott and Republicans in their effort to get the Democrats to return. And third, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton has issued a warning to Democrats to get back to the Texas Capitol. For a second day now, the Texas House didn't reach a quorum. 100 lawmakers are required for that. Only 96 showed up, 4 short. Most of the Democrats were not there and say the Texas Constitution allows them to break quorum. Even before the brief session began at the Texas House at 1 o'clock this afternoon, Speaker Dustin Burrows posted a photo on X of him and Republican Representative Charlie Guerin of Fort Worth meeting with Texas DPS leaders on their efforts to track down and bring back the Democratic lawmakers who are still in Texas and who did not go to Illinois, New York, or Massachusetts. The state doesn't have the jurisdiction to apprehend the lawmakers who left Texas. But if legislators are in the state constitution says they can be brought back to the Capitol. That was confirmed by a Texas Supreme Court ruling in 2021. Quote, just as Article 3, Section 10 enables quorum breaking by a minority faction of the legislature, it likewise authorizes quorum forcing by the remaining members of the legislature to compel their attendance is a valid exercise of the quorum forcing authority granted to each chamber by Article 3, Section 10. So Attorney General Ken Paxton said today that if House Democrats aren't back at the Texas Capitol by Friday, he will start the legal process of removing them from office, essentially filing court petitions accusing them of abandoning their office. In a statement, Paxton said today, quote, the people of Texas elected lawmakers, not jet-setting runaways looking for headlines. If you don't show up to work, you get fired. Democrats insist they are doing what their constituents want them to do, fighting back against Republicans trying to increase the number of congressional seats. Speaker Dustin Burrows isn't backing down.
DPS is actively working to compel their attendance after I signed their civil arrest warrants yesterday, and will continue to do so until those members are back in this chamber. It is evident to the chair that DPS will need some time to work, and we will try again to make quorum on Friday.
I also want to talk to my colleagues, my Republican colleagues in Texas. You wrong for this. You wrong for this. You already have the governor's office. You're the majority in the Senate, the majority in the House. What more do you want?
Senator John Cornyn sent a letter to FBI Director Kash Patel today encouraging his agency's cooperation with Governor Abbott to investigate potential crimes by House Democrats who left Texas. And just within the last hour, the president said the FBI may have to get involved. He said Governor Abbott and Attorney General Paxton want the House Democrats back at the Capitol. Still lots to sort out here, Nicole.